Yes guys, welcome back to yet another video on the bridge side. As promised, today is the prediction for the starting lineup. I'm going to go for what the club I think or Maresca's going to go for on the first game, and I'm going to go for what I'd like to see, and I think what the viewers would like to see, because there are times when we just want to see what the new guys can bring. We want to see who can bring what to the table. Maybe some people have been overhyped, maybe underhyped. I'm going to go through who I think is going to be the top dog of this team. Someone who's really going to stand out and I think we're going to see a lot from. So, yeah. Obviously, the game's coming up Monday night, 8 o'clock against Los Angeles FC. Apparently, it's being shown for free on DAZN. So, if you're not signed up, this is a little free plug for them. Go ahead and do that. I have not done it myself, but I will be very, very shortly. Right. I'm not going to be too long today. It's Friday. I don't want to hold you up for too long. I've got things to do, so let's get into it. So as you can see on the screen, we've got some very poorly put together animations. I did this very quickly, so do not judge me. It's just a little formation, little trophy, just to let you know what we're really playing for here. And obviously the World Cup logo. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through each line first. So obviously the goalkeeper and the defenders, then the midfielders, and then the forwards. The substitutes aren't going to be on the screen, but we can discuss that. That's not a problem. But I will be going through, why I think each player is where they are, who's going to play well in that back line or midfield or forwards, who's going to be the guy up front. Stay around, you're going to find out. Right, so in the starting back line, we have, as you can predict, the normal four. Your Cucurella, your Colwill, your Chalobah, your James, and your Sanchez. Now, I find it tough, to be honest, when I was picking between Chalobah and Tosin. I think, obviously, you go for Chalobah 100% every day of the week. But obviously, I don't mind Tosin. I think he brings a very big presence to the back line. And he does fit well alongside Colwill, who has had an excellent last half of the season. There's no point talking about Cucurella or James. I think Cucurella's just a machine. He's going to thrive, especially in this group stage where we are playing against a lot lower quality teams. So I really don't want these guys just to think, we can just switch off and make silly mistakes. No, I want us to go into this tournament and batter them. It's a trophy, and it's a lot of money that can come into the club from this. So yeah, Cucurella's just going to be on fire, as he always does. I think Colwell's going to be brilliant. Chalobah never puts a foot wrong. I know obviously you got the time he got put on his bum by Delap, but he's on our team now, so it's fine. James is just going to be James, and he's just going to be the guy. I wouldn't be too surprised if Gusto starts, just to give James a bit of time, considering he has just come back from England. I say England, international duty. But yeah, Sanchez in goal. It's not what we want. We'd love to have seen Mainan sit there, but unfortunately that's not the case anymore. But as a back four, I think that's not bad. Yes, don't get me wrong. The final one, my preferred, what I want to see lineup, will be towards the end of this video. So please stick around and make sure you leave a like and a comment and subscribe, because I can't talk today. Right, moving on to the midfield. Your normal, your boring, middle of the park, Fernandez, Caicedo, and Cole Palmer. I think we're going to see a lot from Fernandez in this Club World Cup, especially in the group stage. Like I said previously, we're against weaker sides, and I think confidence is everything, and I think he's going to shine, because he may not be the quickest, but technically he's got a great pass. He can hold on to the ball well, and I think he can distribute and, get a few goals. Saying that, I might actually leave who I think is going to be our top goal scorer for this tournament. Great idea, David. Great idea. And I do love to talk in third person. Caicedo's just going to be a rock. An absolute rock. I could sit here and give everyone a rating out of 10 of what I think they're going to perform, and then see, post-tournament what I think they're going to perform. And what I can do is I can do an edit over the top of this just to show. So I think for Cucurella, I'm going to give him a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think Colwill, I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Chalobah, 8 out of 10. James, 9 out of 10. I think James is going to really thrive. I think he's going to get a few assists. I think he's going to really, do you know what, maybe bag a couple of goals. And do you know what, I actually think Sanchez is going to do very well. I think Sanchez is going to be surprisingly good. I think he's had a great end of the season. I think now that there's all the rumours of Petrovic wanting to leave Chelsea, he's going to be wanting to show why he needs to be the guy in the sticks. So, all credit to him. If he wants to prove himself and he wants to get the love of the Chelsea fans, then by all means, go and show it. But there is someone else that I want in goal, and we will get to that towards the end. So, yeah. Fernandes, I think he's going to be solid. I think a good 8 out of 10. I think Caicedo, just 10 out of 10. I don't know why to hesitate. I just think this man's brilliant. The ball recovery, the guy just runs for England. He just can't stop running. He's like the Forrest Gump of the team. He's ruthless. He'll put a challenge in. He'll track back. He presses. The guy's a genius at what he does. I remember the days when we lost N'Golo Kante and it felt like we'd lost so much in our midfield, but now we are gaining that back with the likes of Caicedo. Palmer, now, this is a tricky one for me because I'd say the last half of the season it's not been great since Christmas. Now, I don't know if that's his role in the team of that number 10. Maybe he's not a number 10 player, considering Maresca's the one who turned him into a right winger when he was at Man City's academy. So let's just think about that one. Your manager you have now, who managed you in the academy at Man City, turned you into a right winger, and then when he becomes your manager for Chelsea, stops that and makes you number 10. Now, I kind of get it because I think it kind of takes that whole focus point off Palmer and it makes Chelsea a team, because as much as we love to watch Palmer bag goals and everything like that, and yes, he is a massive game changer and he's brilliant, there was a lot of times where teams were just doubling and tripling up on him and he couldn't provide anything. He couldn't assist. He couldn't change the game. So I think by taking him out of that spotlight within the team and putting him into more of a system where he doesn't he still has a free role, but you can see that he's still having to follow a much more tactical way of looking at the game. And I think what that did was that freed up everyone else to be able to move up and go in this little pockets to help out. Look at Cucurella. He's been everywhere. Fernandes has been able to push on more. Even Caicedo has a little jog on forward. And I do think this season, I think we're going to see a very different Cole Palmer, especially with all these new guys coming in. Everyone's going to have to step their game up, so they're going to want to keep their starting position in the team. So yeah, for this, I'm going to say easy group stage. Well, easier. Again, it's mentality, isn't it? I think Palmer's got, do you know what? I think Palmer's going to have a solid 9 out of 10 for this tournament. Now remember, you're all probably thinking, this is ridiculous. Why is he rating them so highly? Trust me, post-tournament, they could all be rated, Colwill could have had a 4 out of 10 performance and massively underperform. So don't worry, there is some logic to how I'm perceiving these scores. Okay, moving on to the forwards. So I'm starting off with left wing, Pedro Neto, up top, Delap, and right wing, Madueke. Now, we've seen Madueke play off the left and it's actually been quite good. But the problem with him being on the left is he can't cut in and shoot because he doesn't have a right foot. I don't know if he was born with just two lefts, but he doesn't have a right foot. Neto on the left, I think Neto is probably one of those players that's going to stand out for me. I think he's just come from Portugal, winning that the Nations League Cup, so congratulations to him. Obviously, I have not turned my lights on. I've just noticed that, guys. Turn on. There we go. Look at that. It's a game changer. Yeah, I love Neto. I think he's an underdog. I think he works so hard and I think he gives his all for this team. And he's got those moments in him that are game changers. You think about the goal against Fulham. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have won. Think about all the assists he's done that have put us into a drawing position, or we've won and it's brought us back into the game. I think his technical ability is amazing. I don't think he's even come close to where he can be in a sense of his performances. So I'm really, really rooting for Neto for this Club World Cup. I think he's going to be brilliant. I really think he's going to be one of our best players. Madueke, this guy's talented, but I think he needs to be less selfish. Understand that getting an assist is just as good as getting a goal. And just attack every defence. Just go at him with pure confidence. The amount of times I see him, go forward, and just it looks like he's angry, and the way he kicks the ball away, like he doesn't care, like it's like a poor attitude. But I love him. I think he's brilliant. I think he's got so much talent. And again, I think this tournament he could be a great player. Be interesting to see what these guys are like maybe in the latter stages of the tournament if we get past the group stage, and progress through the tournament. Now Delap. I had to sit here and consider my options of, right, am I taking Jackson up front first or am I doing Delap first? I do I'm very 50-50 on it. I do feel like Jackson will be the starting man and then Delap will come off the bench. But I think Delap's going to slap. I just think he's going to slap him so hard, and I think Jackson's going to hate it. And I wouldn't be too surprised if I see Jackson come out on the wing, on the left wing, because you've got to remember, at Villarreal, he was a left winger. So it wouldn't be too much of a shock to see that happen. But yeah, I really hope Delap just hits the ground running, and gets plenty of goals, and just gives us that spirit of, oh my God, we've got a striker, one that can score, one that can finish, and just be brutal and physical, because Jackson's got Bambi legs. The guy gets pushed over by 5'7" year olds. Yeah, well done, David. 5'7" guys. The guy's weak, and he needs to go gym and toughen up and get stronger and get that core strength going. But now, for those three and their ratings, I think Delap being very new, and this is only the ratings for the group stage. We can do my predictions for, each game after that, and I will do a rating for each player. I think Neto is going to be a 9 out of 10. And I think Madueke is going to probably be a 7 or a 7.5. He plays very hot and cold with me. He shows his absolute promise, and then it just dies off, and I think he switches off. And I just think if he can step up that gear, I think he can really shine. Delap, I think, honestly, a 9 out of 10. I think this guy is going to thrive. Really, really thrive. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to review how ridiculous and how silly all my takes are on those scores. And I can't wait to be humbled by what the scores will actually be. Right, okay, so the final bit of this video is I'm going to run through what I'd like to see at some points, maybe against weaker teams, maybe in second halves, when we're comfortably 2-3-0 up and we want to switch it up and just give some other players some time. So without further ado, this is what I want to be seeing for some of the games. If I'm being honest, in some of these group stage games, I want to be seeing Penders in goal. I want to be seeing Sarr in defence, Achimpong. I want to see Esugo, Santos and Caicedo. I want to see Palmer back on that right wing. And I've left Neto and Delap there. That is a lineup I'd love to see. Yeah, it might not work, it might not click at first, but it gives the guys a chance and an opportunity to show us what they've got. Penders being 19 years old, will he dominate the box? Will he be able to scream and shout at his defenders and put them in their place? Will he be able to pick out those passes that Sanchez struggles with? It'll be very interesting to see what this man can do, and I would love to see the opportunity given to him. Now, a lot of you look at that and going, David, you've got three very defensive midfielders in the middle there, and I know. But the way I see it is, Santos is defensive, but he's also attacking. He can give you both options. He scored and got plenty of assists in Strasbourg. And yes, I know that's all very different now. We're no longer in the League One, so it's all going to be more difficult. But I'd love to see Esugo and Santos and Sarr be given these opportunities in games where the confidence will be high. Like I said, and I have to keep saying it again, the teams we're playing against aren't very good. They're not. They're not going to be up to the quality of Chelsea. So why not give these guys the opportunity to really push on and be like, right, I want to fight for a starting position in this team. I want you to be going, oh, do I want to use him or Enzo? Like, really make it an argument in Maresca's head. I want to see Esugo actually coming on for Caicedo and not feeling like the game has changed too much. I want Caicedo to be given a rest. And I'd love for Cucurella to be given a rest. I know that we can put Badiashile there, or Gusto there, or James there if we really, really need to. Or maybe even Achimpong, who I think is just always going to be brilliant. But yeah, I am really excited on these guys. And I do think Jackson's going to play well, by the way. Don't get me wrong with that. I do think Jackson will play well when he comes on, depending on whether or not he doesn't have many heavy touches. So yeah, I'm not going to rate these guys because obviously it really highly depends on their game time and how much Maresca trusts and uses them, or in the training build-ups before or in between games. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. I will rate them if they do come on. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, when we do our post-game analysis, going forward from this, I think you're gonna have the likes of Jackson, Drewsbury Hall, and Nkunku's an interesting one. I still can't get my head around that. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I keep burping. I don't know. I still can't get my head around why Nkunku's coming. I still am on the fence of why. Logic and everything is. My brain's like, right, the guy wants to leave, but why's he come? Now, unless something's changed and maybe he's turned around and he wants to stay, I don't see that happening in any world. But then if they've turned around to him and said, look, we want you to start being a left winger, you never know. But you've got to remember, guys, we do have the likes of Esteval Willian coming in the new season. I'm not going to talk about Kendry Paez. Apparently he's disappointed. That's fine. I get it. But you are going to be at Strasbourg, and look what Santos did at Strasbourg, considering the rough start he had, especially when he had that one game at Nottingham Forest. So I wish him all the best, and I hope that he does come through. But he has to really shine to be able to push into this Chelsea squad next season, otherwise he'll just end up getting sold. So yeah, I mean, going from this, why has it done that? Mic drop for who? Look at me, I'm messing up now, guys. Let's get rid of all this. So yeah, for today's video, sorry for the rough ending. Again, it's all very new to me. I'm not going to do predictions or anything of scores or going through that, even though this seems like a pre-match thing. I am more than likely going to do my pre-match on Monday. Sunday, I'm going to have a day off. Just do some research, get my head together, make sure I'm ready for Monday, and considering Sunday is also Father's Day. If I do release one on Sunday, then clearly I've got nothing to do, and clearly I just want to give you guys the best content I can. But yeah, so a pre-match analysis with a prediction and my preferred lineup for that game will be on Monday, okay? It'll probably look a lot like this. I might even use the same template as this, but I'm going to run over more Los Angeles FC and look at how we're going to attack the game, how I think Maresca is going to attack the game. So yeah, I think it'll be a good one, and I'm looking forward to all this content I'm going to be making for you guys. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely weekend. I hope you have a great Father's Day, especially with you dads out there. Have a good one, relax, have a few beers, get down with it and just have some fun. So yeah, all the best everyone, and I will see you in the next video on tomorrow. Yeah, Saturday. Yeah. What day is it today? Is it Friday today? Damn. Well, hopefully I'll win the lottery tonight, guys. Right, see you tomorrow, and have a great evening. Peace.